Okay, so this is the 31st Jan. My God, 1 month is over. Do you realize that? Okay. 31st Jan India market review. Mm, basic big thing that have happened. So Obama has come and gone, expiry has come and gone, and Coal India OFS happened yesterday. There are more open offers on the way. NTPC, I think ONGC, and a few others. So one of the big things about the OFS that I'm sure we all read was the 22,000 crores that it sucked up. So, one of the things about OFS is of such magnitude is that where does this 22,000 crores come from? It's partly, of course, new money getting into the market, but it's also people selling existing positions to create cash to buy, the Coal India shares. So this is one thing to be kept in mind, which is liquidity gets sucked out in order to pay for these new issues, and this is a known phenomenon that happens. So with more and more OFSs along the way, we could perhaps expect in the next few weeks and I think next 2 months, because they want to finish off all that before the financial year is over, that we may have a sort of overhang on the market, or rather not, the money that is going into these stocks will partially come from the selling of existing holdings by other people. So it's basically money. It's not entirely new money getting into the market. It's money within the system being sold to go into the new stocks which are being offered for sale. So that's an sort of drag on the market that could keep the market a little subdued for the next few weeks. Next, I think is I don't know. This thing was supposed to happen, but if anybody can get any info, that'll be great. The coal auction and the spectrum auction. So it's supposed to happen sometime around.
I think one thing was moved to March. I don't know.
Okay, fine, but that will again be in this financial year only. So this is something I'm not sure about what's happening at that side, but it could be good for coal, may not be good for telecom. Who knows? Depending on the prices and things like that. Apart from that, of course, the budget heat will start, and we'll have to see how that goes, and the expectations, consultation papers, and all the rumors and all that stuff. And I think the other one is the Delhi election. Right? It's a little surprising, whatever little I've read about the level of interest Arvind Kejriwal still has, or rather public support that he possibly has, and that the BJP is actually going all out to make sure that they win with all the big guns there. So a lot of remarkable effort to make sure that Arvind has no space left, I guess, in the scheme of things. And yeah, Balki, thank you so much. The Greek elections. So if we have, I think all been watching the result, and the Greek government is now actually playing quite hardball with the lenders, so-called Troika, which is the European Central Bank, the European Commission, and the International Monetary Fund. So it will be really interesting and could be the precursor of many, many things down the road, not only about Greece leaving, but there's a rally in Spain, I think, sometime this weekend by the equivalent leftist party in Spain, which is going to hold this public rallies against austerity. So there's a move towards this anti-austerity which is getting stronger. And oh yeah, I think we should add UK elections are in the next I think 2 months or something, or 2.5 months, and the impact of all this on European politics would definitely be very interesting. So the future of Europe, the future of the euro, and the northern European countries which are fiscally well off versus the South European countries which are in dire straits, and little bit I think on the Ukraine, that Ukraine crisis seems to be bubbling up again. are all issues which okay, thanks for that, Balki. UK elections are on 7th May. So, okay, still got February, March, April, May, 4 months to go. But the run-up will be really, really interesting. So I think this is more or less what's there. And I think we've kept saying this, interesting times indeed with all the things. And oil, of course. So new Saudi king, okay, who has reiterated no more oil cuts or production cuts in crude oil, still weak, and there's talk about $40 on the barrel. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
And a couple of things I've been reading here in the financial paper in terms of editorials and all that are many people still feel out here that the oil price is specifically being held down to basically beat the shale gas guys out
Okay.
and run them out of business. And a little bit of things, editorials from a patriotic angle saying that this is basically to get us still energy dependent on the Middle East, or to continue participating in all kinds of activities in the Middle East. Like whenever something happens, America jumps there for, and that used to be for the. So now with actually US producing more oil than these places, and to sort of get energy independent, their involvement outside the country may start dropping. So again, from an economic perspective, it could be good for these guys, like internal economy. Now money can be spent in other areas.
Okay.
That's something that I've been reading on and off in some of these editorials with respect to oil price.
Okay. So, in a sense, what they are suggesting is a conspiracy by Saudi Arabia and OPEC to keep prices down so that the shale production or their energy independence is undermined, right?
Exactly. And there's already been effect of certain new projects not kicking off because it's not viable till the price goes up, and things like that have happened out here.
Okay. There is I think on the WhatsApp group it was shared about Saudi Arabia's shale ventures. They're going to go pretty big on that, so that they have their own supply of shale. Why they need that when they have the crude oil itself, I don't know, but I guess it's just to bolster their supply chain so that they have even more to sell at even lower prices if required, and just make up for that shortfall by selling more.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I think I got this on WhatsApp. I don't know from who, or was it on our group, that India is going to build underground tanks for crude oil by October for storing 5 million tons. Did you see that image? Did you see that?
Not on that group.
You're not on that group?
I don't know who's the. No, I'm not on that group. So it'd be good if you could add me to that.
One sec, doing that right now.
I'm only on the BIC mentorship group.
Okay, you just got added. Check if you got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Cool. So you're on the other side of the world and we do this in fractions of seconds now. It still amazes me. Okay. Cool. So I think that should keep us interesting. All right. So that's there. So let's add that also. India building 5 million tons or million barrels, I don't know, storage underground for crude by October this year. I don't know where that is. I didn't read the full link. So good. Okay. So all this is happening. Anything else you want to add?
No, I mean that's the only thing. Mainly the oil stuff. When you brought it up, I kind of remembered reading this out here. So
okay, done. So coming to our charts.
And
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, some companies like Apple and all that record profits in this quarter.
Okay.
So Apple's doing well, Microsoft is doing well. consumption is quite healthy in that sense.
Okay, cool, great. But there was an interesting post somewhere about now that the US dollar is becoming stronger, the export-oriented companies from US might suffer a hit on their profits because they're going to get fewer dollars now.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think everything which is to do with domestic consumption there would be the theme to buy, but export-oriented stuff might suffer in the short term at least.
Yeah, yeah. And I think for us, the farmers and ITs will face a little difficulty because of the dollar strength. Any exports from there also, right?
Yeah, actually, if, depending on what it's built in, if they build in dollars, it's good for them.
Exports, imports would be problem.
Imports would be a
for
problem.
us.
Yeah, not exports. Exports is good.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So you should be able to see the Nifty chart, and as you can see, big red candle on Friday, the day after expiry. And actually, if I just get this out of the way, a couple of interesting things that we might be able to observe. So one is that if you actually observe carefully, there was this attempt on Wednesday where intraday the market went to 8985. Of course, I don't have the intraday chart here, but if you have a look at it, because I think till about 11 or 11:30, 12 or something, the market didn't do much. You open at 8, 9, 10, 20 points this side, that side, and then suddenly it's almost a vertical rise to almost 9,000. But within half an hour, 45 minutes after that, it just came down and it closed at 8914, which is basically where it opened. So on Wednesday, one day before expiry itself, you had this sort of move, which I don't know whether it was a hint at anything, but I think, I don't know whether it was Sid or Balki who mentioned on the Wednesday IMR that we did, that we had this very important return line, the yellow return line, which was...
That was bulky. There was another thing I noticed on that Wednesday was I also checked the option chain, and the max pain was at 8,700. So I was surprised to see it close at a much higher
level. Yeah.
Yeah, and on Wednesday it exactly came to that return line, and it came down.
Right. So it came to this return line, and then I don't know, I didn't see the option pain data. And then on Friday we had this big fall. Of course, we can talk about the 68% fall in profits by Bank of Baroda, some stressed assets and all of that. But let me just quickly go to Bank Nifty here, and notice what happened on Bank Nifty. Again, this is a Wednesday, same move that we're talking about, and that's basically a shooting star. And this was 2 full days before the bad results by Bank of Baroda and some not so good results by ICICI Bank, etc. came down. Really makes you think, what caused what. So did the shooting star cause the bad profits, or was it the other way around? I don't know. So we had the shooting star. Thursday Bank Nifty behaved like this, and on Friday we just had a complete sort of reversal. The other thing to notice is that on the short-term indicator of the stochastics, here you clearly actually had a negative divergence, which was really not there in anything else in the way it was there on the stochastic. But that's just a 5-day stochastic. Everything else was, I think, at that time quite healthy. So ignore the move after that. Just till where this line is, if you just concentrate to the left of that and ignore everything to the right of that, clearly the stochastic was showing some weakness. So in retrospect, yeah, that was the only indicator showing weakness. Everything else was hale and hearty. So, but that's exactly how weakness starts. You see it in a one indicator that builds to more indicators, and then if you look at different time frames, then it gradually becomes bigger. So this is really interesting that on Friday it came down, and across the board I think it's come down on pretty big volumes, so that is one thing. And there's a window here in both the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. So if we are to close that on the Bank Nifty, we have to come down at least to 19,000. We are at 19,800, and I'm moving back to S&P now. This one, in order to close, the market will have to move to 8,300. So that's like 700 points down, almost 500 points down, sorry. So that's almost 8% on the Nifty. So this is clearly a bullish engulf, a bearish engulfing. If I move to the weekly chart, then it's been a lackluster week overall, and the trend is in terms of longer term perspective still strong. I don't think there's a problem, but this is interesting because now, what's the pattern you would say this is in now? Anyone? What pattern do you think is evolving? Huh?
Evening star?
No. That's okay, fine. Evening star on top. There's a return line, but there's something else.
Wedge.
Yeah, a rising wedge, right? And if this is a rising wedge, and to go back to a weekly chart, I think it's clearer there. Okay. Even if I were to sort of try and put another line here, let me just do that. Even this would be a wedge on the closing basis, right? So that's a weekly chart, and that's actually a more well-defined wedge in my opinion. So if we have a rising wedge here, just trying to put multiple trend lines just to be more sure, then we know the consequences. If the rising wedge were to break down, then we could see some imports meaningful correction that could happen. So as of now, there's an uptrend, but there's also a rising wedge, and that is definitely a concern to how should I say, keep a watch on. That's it. Which means that if the market were to break this level at 8200, maybe 8150, that's a decisive breakdown. Then I think the 200-day moving average at 78 is one level, and if it breaks down, there's one window here which is still not closed, and we're then potentially looking at 7,000. Having said that, please note that it could come here to about 85. That's where the uptrend basically is. Take support, and another up move happens to maybe 9,000, 9,100. So it's interesting times. Return line business, bearish engulfing, quite strong. Volumes are high, and you have this non-technical thing of the OFS. More OFSs along the way. So I think all this to be overcome in some meaningful manner, you'll really need to have some strong budget sentiments with that to drive the market up, and whether that will happen or not, I don't know. I think it's just wait for time to tell. How much can the budget deliver? It's still a lot of talk. We need to see things on the ground. So yeah, that's it. So I would say neutral at best. I wouldn't be looking at fresh long positions, and definitely want to protect anything existing long. Okay, so that's my view. Let's now get into individual sectors. So we looked at the Bank Nifty already. Has to come to about 19,000 for the window to correct. And Balki, just correct me if I'm wrong on the volumes and all, but I think it's gone across the board down on higher volume. VSC power. So this is really interesting. On Friday, that the power index is not red, and it's actually showing green, and looks like this is definitely a turnaround of fortunes. the power index has been lagging for a long time, and on the one day that the market overall does really badly, the power index has actually gone up. So strength is shifting into, I think, the laggards, and the power stocks could definitely, I mean, this reaffirms the thing about maybe buying power stocks and making them core part of a portfolio. Again, stochastic is showing some weakness here, negative divergence, but that's again 5-day only, and the other indicators still have medium-term strength. BSE Realty, surprise, surprise, strong green candle. So Realty is still doing well, has broken through all the long-term moving average, and it is going up. And I think the next level is 2000 that we have to look at. Having said that, it's a pretty nice run up, almost without a break from this level of 1525 to 1800, 1850 almost, and maybe some correction before we see it go up again. Then CNX IT filled green. So basically a bearish session on CNX IT, even though attempting to make a new life high. Whether it breaks down from here, I think it's just better to wait and watch. Some weakness is definitely there, and the reason I say it is if you look at the RSI, though it's actually a really long way apart, this time when it went to the life high, at that time the RSI here versus the RSI here when it went to the same level, slightly weak, and then on Friday again you can see that there has been a lower RSI level. So I would at least, at the very least, say there's some weakness in the uptrend of the IT stocks, and it's better to wait and watch. Mid cap, 2 days of red, just there, not really come down as strongly as the Nifty stocks have. So the underlying trend of mid cap probably having more strength than the mainline stocks continues. Same picture in the Nifty Junior. Proportion wise, the red candles here of Friday are clearly smaller. Energy also not showing that much weakness. Then FMCG, sorry, CNX Infra, not much. If I even were to put down the worst case downtrend line here, clearly it has broken out. So infra, power, realty are the places to probably rotate money into. CNX Pharma, slight weakness, sort of dark cloud cover, but new high on Thursday. Then PSU Bank, so big crack, of course basically on account of Bank of Baroda, and at this it should at least come down to 3,900, and then who knows, we would review at that time. The 3,900 is a pretty strong support, as you can see, multi-year 2012. Does it take support there, or does it crack? Will be interesting to watch. But PSU Bank stocks basically bearish. Nifty we discussed. BSE Auto, a little shy. Okay. Consumer durables broken out. No doubt about that. And that's where we are. So dark cloud cover there. Capital goods staying above that very important resistance line of 2010 peak. I do believe that fundamentally, I think the capital goods will do well moving forward, mostly on the initiative of the government. So we had this very large multi-month or almost 1.5 year head and shoulder bottom that got formed. Very good rally of almost 60-65%, And overall, I think what you have here is now an inverted head and shoulder bottom with a possible measuring implication of 16,800 to 14,000 or 2,800, and from that level we're talking about 16, 17, 18, 19,600 on this, almost a 15% move, and the budget might just provide some more impetus towards this. Clearly the fact that it's not yet come there, and it'd be interesting to watch. Then FMCG continues to make a new life high, but little weak. Healthcare, okay. Metals is one place where, we were talking about this up move, but the importance that it needs to cross 10,800 again, move down. So the downtrend of metals should be assumed, though there is this strong, positive divergence which is there. It'd be interesting to see what the RSI does, and does it come down here and then move up, or do we break this level of 9,800 and we go down much further? Who knows? So wait and watch. Small cap index, actually not quite weak, as you can see. There you have an MACD negative crossover. Sort of double in question, triple top there. Okay. Okay, sunsets, and we're back to the bank nifty. So quick notes, I think power, realty and infra clearly showing strength and outperformance. The biggest drag is basically PSU banks, other stocks being dragged down. So I would, the other one, return line on Nifty and other indices, gaps to be filled in Nifty and PNL. Alright, so these are the essential points. One would consider buying power, realty, infra, and maybe moving out of the other sectors. The other one was capital goods. Right. Okay. So that is where we are as far as the overall analysis is concerned. So shall we do the bank nifty, sorry, the nifty junior stocks first, or do we want to look at the nifty stocks? What do you say?
Let's do junior. We haven't done junior for a long time.
All right. So let's look at AB Novo, Aditya Birla. So clearly was heading up towards its life high, but now has a slight pause. Monday, this was more or less like a flag, but then sort of seems to have broken down. The volumes are clearly low. It's come down again on lower volumes. So not really a breakdown of Aditya Birla Novo, and would perhaps be a good buy at lower levels. We just have to wait and watch as to where that lower level might be, and just take it from there. So no hurry to buy, but it's down on lower levels, sorry, on low volumes, and maybe 1700, who knows, maybe 1500 if things really go out of hand and the overall market comes down, but no real urgency to buy it as of now. Adani Enterprises, so this one has actually gone up on higher volume. So some interesting developments again in Adani. First of all, notice that it's broken out of a 7-8 month rectangle of 420 to 520, so 100 rupees, so 620. It has met that target and gone up higher than that. Is it at a life high? No. I think quite clearly heading towards the life high of 780. The stock is at 637. I think there was some news about some demergers or restructuring. Alright, so Bobby is adding. Hi, Bobby. News of Adani hiving off certain units. Alright, cool. So yeah, the demerger part unlocks value and creates, so looks like that's apart from Arvind, another demerger story. Maybe this will be the flavor going forward. Watch out. Demergers usually create wealth. Okay. So this is one thing to, when Adani Enterprises is a clear buy, no doubt about it, till with the target at its life high essentially, which is at around 780, and after that, who knows, much higher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months, 1 year sideways consolidation, and now making the next move. Adani Ports, oof, I haven't done this for a long time, obviously, that's why the charts seem to be out of date. What's interesting about Adani Port is the action on Friday. There's a very long tail, which means there has been strong buying after the selling that happened, and quite possibly this is now looking for much higher levels once it breaks 360. I would definitely watch for this level to break down, and only then might I consider shorting it, but looks like a buying opportunity with the next target at, I suppose, 400, just a psychological number. Apollo Hospitals, so 1200 previous life high, it is shot off to 1450 and then has been slammed down actually. So one of the things, again, remember that we are in result season and one should look at whether the result of these companies, whatever we're discussing, has been declared. Went up, as you can see, on good volumes. It's come down, relatively speaking, on, depending on how you want to look at it, towards the average if you look at it, low volumes, but still it's not small volume selling. And Apollo Hospitals, who knows, could perhaps come to 1250, at which point we would reevaluate. For now, nothing much to do. Ashok Leland, so just going from strength to strength. 70 rupees. Not, if you notice again, not much of a correction on Friday at all. Just a doji. On Thursday expiry, you had a red candle. Could be something like this, and it takes the stock up. Who knows, another 5-10 rupees once the longer uptrend, which is very much intact, gets hold of the stock and sends it even higher. Why do I have it underlined? Okay. Okay. So I would say Ashok Leyland is a buy, though technically it could come down to about 56, 57, and after that we would have to reconsider what our moves would be. Bajaj Financial Services, almost anything in the finance side, not that you should buy it, but should be given close attention. As you know, you'll find them in every white goods store. Psychological mark of 1500, as you can see, very close by. You're getting an hanging man type pattern, but I think, and my belief is that all things put together, the stock is actually looking to make higher highs. Long tail, until and unless there is a reversal which is stronger than this, I wouldn't sell. And you can see that you've had about 2 months of 2.5 months of consolidation here very clearly, after which this up move has happened. And any dip should be used to buy, and once it crosses 1500, then who knows, 1750 or 2000. Okay, looks like I've missed Auro Pharma. I'll go back to this. Let's make a list of the stocks that I don't have. Okay, Bajaj Holding. As you can see, 1450 acting as a pretty tough top. Until such time that that tough top gets broken out, would not want to buy it. What's even more important is of late the volume has clearly built up, and its distribution could be going on, some people at least, till it breaks either below 1300 or below above 1500. Don't bother with it. Bank of India, I don't know if this Bank of India results were announced, but you can see that at the very least Bank of India and its impact on all the PSU banks, probably high volume selling. You can see that the MACD, which had been almost at zero, a little above zero for about a good 2.5-3 months, seems to have done a crossover and gone down. But we'll wait and watch. It's opened, broken out of all the moving averages. It's broken out of the 200-day moving average, broken out of an important support, and closed below that line, indicating that maybe 250, 225, 230 is definitely on the cards. Possible short. Okay. And stop loss above 280, 283 would be more than sufficient, given that the 200 EMA is below that. Bharat Forge clearly showing strength, going higher. So capital goods space should not be ignored. Indicators wise also strength, though strength is coming down. And till it breaks below, I would say 900, be a little not so great to sell. So this is where 1000 is, and it's holding above that for now. So Bharat Forge would definitely be a place to be looking at buying. Biocon, interesting. Clearly going down, down, down. It's in a downtrend. Come to 400 rupees, important psychological level. If it breaks 400, 2-year support, I think. Well, not strictly. I would put it somewhere. Oh, looks like it is exactly at or breaking support. 2009. It'd be interesting to watch if this breaks down. Then where could this stock basically end up going? That's the level to watch out for. But yes, I think as a shorting opportunity, if the markets turn weak, Biocon should be on the list. Bosch, I think you remember we saw it at 15,000. Now it is at 24,500 or 23,800. Sorry, one stock. I don't know. I'm quite sure not many of us bought. And it's going strength to strength. The other day when I was driving a bit around, I saw a Bosch car service center. I knew that Bosch two-wheelers service was there, but I didn't know Bosch car service was had been opened, and it looked pretty full. So That's definitely a strong brand name and will probably pick up even more customers along the way. But of course, they are doing lots of other things. But clearly, this is in a happy zone, and if you look at wow, you can clearly see November, December, Jan, clearly very significant multi-year volumes. This is something cooking, I would suspect, in the stock. Some folks in the know, either the promoters or management or institutions, are gobbling up this stock, and something is most definitely cooking. Just a matter of time before they announce it. Watch for it, and then who knows? They may be doing a split, maybe doing a merger, maybe demerging units within it, but something is cooking in Bosch. Everything, any dip should be used to purchase. Canada Bank. So I don't know how many of the PSU banks declared results on Friday. Don't think many, but clearly the Bank of Baroda one really spooked the markets, and I think you'll see these big red candles on all PSU bank stocks. Very, very important 2008 peak here at 400, which is 10% below where we are, and I would just say wait and watch. I think 420 is very, very possible. After that we'll review. And again, interesting, I don't know what happened to volumes here. Very unusual picture to see volumes like this, which sort of quickly dropped in 2 weeks and stayed low for several weeks after that. Wondering what's behind it. And yep, so that's Canada Bank. Colgate Palmolive, consumer durables, or sorry, FMCG, not really doing well. 2000 psychological mark, clearly not allowing the market to go up. Oh, this is interesting. I don't know if some bulk deal happened here, hardly any price movement, bulk deal or block deal, and then it is now sort of cooling off to 1800 and perhaps to 1700, though nothing strong in the move, very low volume, so would probably just stay away from Colgate Palmolive. Container Corporation of India, and well, clearly has broken out, and broken out, comeback at 1300, really interesting times. I would say just stay away from it. Whoa, what happened on Friday? Big volume, but nothing changed in the price. Again, something very erratic volume, as you can see. You get these volume spikes every now and then, in every few months. Don't know what to make of it. Has gone up, of course, quite significantly in the last 2-3 years or 2 years. Wow, 700 to 1450, doubling after 1 month, 1 year of consolidation. Sorry, some more consolidation happening, and then if it crosses 1500, I'll just put an alert and then review at that time. Crompton Greaves, ooh, capital goods, but not really. They're into all sorts of things, and as you know, electrical fans and things like that. Still a green candle. I would think 180 if it comes to 185. Sorry, it's 189. Might be a good place to buy, but on the other hand, I think this is the trend line you need to watch for, and if that breaks, then only buy it. Or if it comes to 180, we shall review that. But seems to be a laggard. The capital goods index has gone up clearly. This one has not. So may not really perform as well as some of the other capital goods stocks like this Cummins India, as you can see, very nicely going up. And I would say what it's done for the last 3-4 months is a very good consolidation, and it's just a matter of time that it moves up. I'm not sure exactly what all Cummins does in India, but one of the things they do is engines, used for a lot of electrical generators. You'll see them all over the place. And they have this, I think, very strong portfolio of engines. One of the bigger users of these, which should be higher profitable, are the mining industry and infrastructure mining, heavy vehicles, all that. Once they get a boost, then common stock will automatically get a boost. In a sense, this is, let me see. On a weekly chart, this is looking like a flag, as you can see. Nice up move here on good volumes, November, and this is clearly low volumes. The volumes are now picking up. MACD weekly going negative. You've got a divergence clearly on the RSI and stochastic, but that's what also happened in a consolidation. And if we take the measuring implication, let's say from 700 to, let's be a little conservative, say even 890, we're talking about 190, 200 rupees. And once it breaks, I think 920, 200 rupees would make it 1120. But the first stop would be the 1000 rupee psychological mark. I would definitely look at Cummins. If there is options trading on this, I maybe just buy one lot for Feb and see how it might work out. Is Cummins on Cummins? I know the correct pronunciations. Is it there on options? Anyone just check? Or if you're okay with mark to market, I would even say go long on the futures. Yes, chart is definitely looking good. One second, just bringing up NSE to see if no, it's not there. Alright, so just leave it then. So just buy the stock, I would say, in the spot market and hold on to it. Dabur. So what's interesting about Dabur is you can see that there is a flag that has sort of formed and broken out. Made a new life high and continues to make new life highs. Okay, so clearly you can see the flag here, uptrend flag, move here on good volumes, consolidation, and breakout again on volumes. And the target here would be, I would say, at least from 230 to, let's say, 250. That is 20 rupees. And from the level of breakout of, say, 250, 255, we're talking about 270, 275. So still upside left in that stock and at a life high. So much higher levels are most definitely on the cards. Psychologically, I think 275 and 300 is what one could expect. DV's lab. So was in a sideways consolidation, and we have that level. There, and it's my opinion that it's clearly broken out of that consolidation, DV's lab, and it's done that on volumes. You can see that whole of December and early part of Jan low volumes. Now there's a volume build up before the breakout actually, and this is most likely to continue all the way to 1850, maybe even 1900. So any dip, even to suppose it does come back in as of now it's very unlikely to break 1700 or 1750. On Friday also the low was 1710, came to where a bunch of moving averages have sort of clustered together and then taken off from there. Exide, so Exide made a new life high, broke out in early Jan, went up from 175 to 200 almost exactly. Interesting to see where it topped out at 202.25 and has reversed from there. Pretty strong reversal candle and again on good volumes, so a little bit of a concern. Could come to 180, could come to, yeah, so there 155, 180, 155, and then we would review. Worst case, most extreme outer trend line, if I put, we are just there. So no shorting, but buying on dips at lower levels maybe later. Federal Bank, so first private sector bank that we are seeing, which seems to have a double top, has been beaten down, dragged down with the rest of the market. Volumes okay, but there's clearly a double top there. Weakness in the MACD, RSI, everything. And at least here, last 3 weeks of Jan, some higher volume distribution seems to be going on. Could be going down. If it breaks 140, then at least 132 I think is quite possible on Federal Bank. Glaxo, so crazy. I don't know whether we can even do TA on this stock. It's just making new life highs. Seems to be something. You look at all the, I think, FMCG stocks which have a global footprint or a foreign parent, all seem to be doing well. Another flag-like formation perhaps? Yes, absolutely. Another flag. Which is the other flag, by the way? We saw something. Just let me put it down. Did anybody note it down? Dabur, thank you. Balki. Is there, or I missed a question? Bobby, you asked, is there a wedge pattern in what?
In the GSK, because I was tracking this like between 15th December if you draw and 19th.
This one, no, same Glaxo, GSK, earlier one.
Glaxo, both are the same, no? Around the same.
Hey, wait. When did we do GSK? I didn't do GSK.
I was tracking those two.
Okay, if we do that, we'll come to that. Okay. Alright, so Glaxo looking like a flag to me. 3150 to 3450, at least 300 rupees, that's clearly 10%. 3450 breaks out, we're talking about 3750, a convenient psychological number, and one could consider buying it. Again, not sure whether it's there in FNO, but as part of your portfolio, yes. And if it in case comes to 3250, I think should start looking at buying it if it takes that support. Okay. Some selling happening at towards the 3500, 3550 mark, but really not going down. So some inherent strength in that stock. Glenmark 700. And I would say wait and watch. If 700 breaks and if it goes below 690, I think Glenmark could easily fall to 650, maybe even to 600. A sort of head and shoulder top also. Left shoulder, big head here, or even this whole thing head, and a right shoulder developing in Glenmark with a measuring implication easily of say 800 to maybe 725. We're talking about 75 rupees, so 650 at least. And then if 660 goes, then 600. Yeah, so Glenmark rounding top, head and shoulder top over 5-6 months. GMR infra, all right. So infra stocks, clearly this one has broken out, but then failed to actually go up and completely came down, reversing all gains. But something has dramatically happened yesterday, and it has happened on big volumes. I would suggest we look for some news or something, or event, maybe result or whatever, or a new order, or some restructuring or something. Clearly something is cooking, and we should be looking at buying this stock. Okay. So if it comes back to 17, 18, really something will be a good buy. Till 21, 22, we have the 200-day moving average terrific resistances. Once it's crossed 25, I think, then much higher levels could happen. But I think GMR infra and possibly quite a few other infra stocks are now clearly in buy mode. Okay. So let us even assume, I'm just hypothecating here, pure speculation. Oh, hold on. So one of the things you can see here clearly is how the RSI and MACD were trending up while the stock wasn't. So really a strong bullish divergence that was building up for almost 2 months, at least 1.5 months. And so it's really gone up, and I would definitely look at buying it. Okay, one sec, I need to send a link.
What we're seeing and what you just said is basically to continue stay in the mid cap space. Even if the Nifty breaks, that mid cap will be a little slower to react, and even if it does, there would be opportunities buy in that to ride the wave back up.
Yeah.
And even it won't be probably as significant as what the Nifty would do.
Yeah, that's what I believe.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, so advance apologies. I stopped the recording in between and I forgot to start it again. So only half of this webinar is now recorded. So if you watch the recording, please know that. Okay. Anyone else? Any other questions?
No, friend. Acha, I just wanted to inform you. I just in the flight I was watching this this investor webinar. It's pretty good. The screen is quite good.
Yeah, they are. Okay, I haven't watched that part yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I thought I think it is worth taking it.
Okay, cool. Done. Okay. Anyone else has gone through those videos? I mean, I like what I see, definitely. Just having got used to Metastock for so long, it's going to be a little challenge to shift over. But I think it looks like it's worth it.
Yeah. Especially the technical indicators screeners are quite good.
Okay, fine. Good. I shall convey that. They will be very happy. Okay. Anyone else with any other inputs? No? Okay, great. So we'll stop here. Hopefully the recording should go up. There's some trouble with the YouTube, and I hope that's fixed. I don't know. Balki has a question about pre-budget rally. I think it's early days, could happen, but maybe we'll see a correction before that happens. Like I said, the overhang of selling that is there because of the upcoming OFS offers for sale, which are another 5-6 I think in the pipeline, is going to put a pressure on the market. So some mild correction at least, if not a major correction, and then maybe a rally after that. One of the things about Coal India is, once the stock hits the demat on Monday or Tuesday latest, then we'll see, how many people want to get rid of it, who are probably perhaps hoping for a short-term profit and perhaps are not going to get it. And because that's a lot of 22,000 crores worth of stock sold. That's not small. We're talking about $3 billion almost. That's a hell of a lot of money for the Indian markets. Yes, Asha, the first part of the recording will be available sometime tomorrow. There needs to be some processing done. But yes, once that's done, I will send out the links. Okay, I mean, really sad that we missed out on the last part. Balki, did you make any notes, just in case, of the calls? You didn't really do a full list. This was what I put down. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Just send that across, and then maybe I'll just add this to mine and we'll send it off for everyone. Yeah, at least we'll know what stocks to focus on instead of, since any of the second half is not there. Anyone else? That's it. Okay, so thank you all. Have a great weekend. So good morning to Sid. He's got a lot of work to do. By February starting, so get your money into the markets.
No, but it's a weekend, no? It's a holiday there for him now today. So he'll go out and enjoy today.
I don't know. He says there's nothing around, so he's got the whole day to do some more TA and come up with some more specific stocks picks.
Okay. Sid, I saw your mail about that Bluetooth thing. Maybe we'll explore it